Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Melman Podcast. My name is Zach Marzo.
David Melman.
David is here. Special guest this morning, Neryk Zavalunov, owner of Jack and Sons Barber Shop. 3 locations. He's going to tell you more about his growth and where he had come from and kind of his journey with being the owner of a barbershop, multiple location barbershop, which is really cool, a little bit different from, the average, doctor or lawyer or accountant that, you may have come on. It's really cool. I actually, to be completely honest, thought about going to barber school at one point just because like the OCD in me loves the fresh, clean cut. But I want Neryk to introduce himself, tell us about Jack and Sons, and, we'll kick it off. Thanks for being here, Neryk.
Thanks, Neryk. Let's do this.
Thank you, guys, man. I'm Neryk. We have 3 locations. Our original location is in Roswell. We've had that for 10 and a half years now.
Wow.
And then we have a location in Johns Creek, which we've had for 2.5 years. And we've just recently, 2 months ago, opened up one in Cumming.
Very cool.
Beautiful location in Cumming.
Was it specific to, why you wanted to be Johns Creek Cumming, or did you just kind of find a nice space in those areas, or did you kind of target those specific locations because that's where you wanted to be?
Well, when I originally opened the Roswell location, I knew for sure I wanted to open up one in Cumming. When I first started cutting hair, it was at a Great Clips up in Cumming.
Sure.
And driving through, all you see is like cows and goats and chickens.
Middle of nowhere.
I knew that it's going to be a great location. It's more people are moving away from the city.
Right, it's a growing area.
Yeah. So as soon as we opened the Roswell location, I was like, you know what, my next location's got to be in Cumming. The one in Johns Creek kind of fell in my lap. A guy was retiring, and he gave me a call, and it was 2 traffic lights away from my house. I couldn't say no.
Right. Very nice. Well, you said Roswell was open for like 10 plus years before that second location and now third location. And I know your dad, your pops, Jack, was kind of, it started Jack and Sons, but now, that was a 1 location spot, and you now want to grow the brand, and obviously why you've established multiple locations, which I think is really cool. Was that, something that you had thought about kind of right away, or you're like, hey, we got to, expand? Where did that idea come from to say, let's take it from 1 to 2 to 3?
That's a good question. I was 22 years old when we first got the first shop. I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew that I know how to cut hair. My dad knows how to cut hair. He taught me customer service, making everybody happy. And I was like, how hard is it to open up a shop? It's extra paperwork, extra bills, And of course, the first couple of months was ridiculous because I was late on all my bills until I found out that there's such a thing called auto pay.
Yeah, right.
I know. Good old auto pay.
Love it. As long as there's money in the bank, the auto pay works. So I signed up on auto pay, and we focused on great haircuts and great customer service. And we started at $12 for a haircut, just to show Roswell what we're all about, what we can bring. And people would come in and they're like, $12, this is a great deal. And they throw down, of course, a lot more. And we went from $12 to $15. And we, as everything is going up, rent, milk, gas, we
got to adjust
accordingly. But I mean, still to this day, people think that they're getting a great deal, and we try to price it fair where everybody feels comfortable, and comes more often. I know there's shops that are $60, $80, but the clients don't come as often. It's
sure. Well, your place looks like it. You charge a $60 haircut. Especially the one that we visited not too long ago in Cumming it's beautiful. Even in Roswell, I'd stopped in there one time, and so. But like you said, it's more about the service, the people that are cutting your hair, and then you get a good price on top of that, or a fair price. And people will continue to come back. So I think, we talk about this all the time, but customer service it's really just the backbone or the foundation of every, successful business. Because without that service, you can be cutting great hair, but, if they don't like the atmosphere or environment, or you're not being, treated great, no one's going to come back.
No, they'll never come back.
100%.
And it's more than just hair. You go there, you have an experience. I love going there. I go there every 3 or 4 weeks whenever I can. The shave, the hot towel, the environment. Everyone's in a good mood. It's professional. Remember, not to downplay great clips or super clips, but you pay for what you get. You pay for what you get. So you want to pay $12, $13, $14 for your haircut, you're going to get that experience. You want to pay $20 or whatever it is, you're going to get that experience. It's quality over quantity. I'm a big believer in that. And it's an incredible time always. Took you, first spot 10.5 years ago. So 8.5 years ago, you opened up Johns Creek. 8 years for one spot, 2 years for second, months. Boom, pretty much like you see. Yeah. So you're growing faster. Mm-hmm. Why did it take 8 years compared to now doing it in 2 or 3?
Like my cousin in New York said,
sure.
I got the formula down. Like we know exactly how people like it. We know exactly how to run the shop, what to offer, and thank God. I mean, I know the formula. I can do it faster. The problem is to find the skilled workers. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's unfortunately semi-dying trade. There's not as many barber schools in Georgia, so but I'm so happy that we have found the black diamonds, the diamond in the rough. Mm-hmm. We have a great crew that I don't have to worry about. They, the shop runs itself. They take care of the clients. I mean, everybody's super happy. We get daily Google reviews, and it makes me happy. It makes me proud.
Of course.
And it wouldn't be Jack and Sons, and it wouldn't be successful without our employees.
For sure. And these are special employees because the average employee in a company, they have a salary, they have a set amount. Sure, they'll have some bonuses and incentives. But these are people that are trained to take care of their own station and their own clientele, to grow their own clientele, because the majority are, they're getting a piece of the pie whenever they're cutting the hair. It's not like you're getting $10 an hour and the company makes all the money. They're invested into the company. So you would think, with their personality and their enthusiasm to want to grow with you, to do the best every day is there. But we all know every business has its challenges up and down because we're dealing with humans. No one's perfect. Nobody has, a perfect day every single day, right? So us as running, the business, we have to kind of deal with that in a good way. It's not just a bad thing. We have to know how to react. We talk about customer service all the time on the end of clients and business, but it's also a level of customer service to deal with employees too. And that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's just we're humans. Like everyone has emotions, you don't know what's going on in anybody's life at any moment. Just because you're coming in with a smile doesn't mean they're in the best mood ever. They're doing that for you and your company. But when they go home in our office too, who knows what's going on? Maybe they had a bad day or something happened with the family somewhere else. So it's our job to step up and always be there for them, no matter what, because we try to be the leaders, and I never consider you, like, even when you're in there, you're never telling anybody what to do. Like, you're putting the warm towels in there too. You're doing what you need to do. You're picking up the phone, so you're running the show as a leader versus being a boss. And,
that's what I tell my employees, that it's their company too. Mm-hmm. It's your business as well. As soon as they walk in the door, that's you. You are portraying the shop. Whoever's sitting in your chair, you have to make the shop clean. You're working for yourself. Our clients are not like disposable plates. A lot of places are like that when you pay them hourly.
Sure. Sure.
But if they have a skin in the game and they're building their own clientele, they're making their own pay. They fluctuate how much they get paid, because if that person is happy, they're going to tell friends. If that person's not happy, they're going to tell many friends.
Yeah.
So it's their job to get that client back in their chair and get more referrals into their chair.
And how do you tell that to your team? How do you tell them? Like, do you have meetings monthly, quarterly? Like, how do you keep them engaged to bring like clientele's family and friends in also? Like, what is your strategy for that?
I try to reiterate how important it is for Google reviews and how important it is that they mention your name, because I go to other barbershops just to see how they run, just to see their service, what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong. Because in my eyes, in my shop, everything's right. But there could be things that I see in other shops that like, oh, wait, we're doing the same thing wrong. So I'll go to other shops and I'll go on their Google reviews and I'll see whose name is mentioned the most. So I'll go and sit in that chair because I want to see what kind of service they are providing. Which, I mean, I'm sure, I know most of our new clients will do the same thing. They'll sit down in someone's chair and be like, oh, yeah, I've seen your name mentioned a lot on Google reviews, and I just want to, I want you to cut my hair.
Right.
So that's what we do. I mean,
Sure.
we have been doing meetings every like month and a half, and now I just recently, since, it's hard to get everybody together at the same time. People
Sure.
have different schedules. I just do like a group text message and send out text messages so
Sure.
everybody gets it. Like everybody gets the text messages.
Yeah, well, always. And you did, a baseball game, soccer game, taking your team out to restaurants. And, it's, during this time, there aren't many options to go to.
Exactly.
People don't want to leave the house, So it's incredible to keep them engaged. And let me talk about you. Finished high school, college. It's not for everybody always, And then what shifted you to realize, hey, I'm going to be a business owner and I'm going to be a multi-franchise or multi-location business owner? Like, what kind of mindset do you need to have to be able to do that? Because just because, it's not just, you go to school or you don't go to school and you become a business owner. You have to have a combination of skills to be that business owner. You can't just choose not to go to school and then think it's just going to happen. So what kind of mindset do you have? And did you have at that time? And was it scary? Was it not scary? Like, run us through that. It's very interesting.
Okay. So I'll start with my grandfather was also a barber in Russia. He taught my dad at the age of 13. And my dad also, he's like, no, I don't want to be a barber. I don't want to be a barber. My grandfather's like, just learn the skill. Just learn it. Mm-hmm. I'm not telling you to be a barber, but it's a skill that you'll always need. He said, it's like the famous quote my grandfather always said was, if you ever need money, you need three things: a chair, a comb, and scissors, and you got money. You put a chair outside, and someone's going to sit down, and you're going to make money.
Sure.
And when I was 13, my dad was working at a barbershop next to the old Southern Skillet in Roswell. They actually just recently tore down that whole shopping plaza. But when I was 13, he would come with me, come to work with me. I'm like, all my friends are playing around, this and that. Okay, whatever, hang out with my pops. So I'd go, I'd sweep, I'd watch him cut hair, and he's teaching me. Some of his clients let me practice on him. And I'm like, Pops, I don't want to be a barber. Like, I don't like hair all over me, and I don't want to do it. He's like, just learn it. Mm-hmm. One day you're going to need money. You need three things: chair, comb, and scissors. I was like, all right, So I learned it, and I actually wanted to be a chef. The closer I got to high school, I knew for a fact when I was in freshman year of high school, I was like, I don't want to work for somebody the rest of my life. I know, my famous quote used to be, I don't want to work for money. I want money to work for me.
Sure. Sure.
I don't know. I was like a freshman in high school thinking I knew everything. Mm-hmm. But I just knew for a fact I didn't want to work for somebody the rest of my life. You don't control your own destiny. I've, cutting hair with a lot of my clients, they're in their 50s, 60s, they got gray hair, and it's like, oh, I just got laid off. Mm-hmm. And you're putting 20, 30 years into a company, your blood, sweat, tears, you're missing time with your kids, and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm sorry, your position is no longer with the company.
Right,
what do you do? Who's going to hire you with gray hair? You're an old guy, I just didn't want that for myself. I was like, I want to control my own destiny. So my dad put me through through barber school. I tried applying for the Art Institute to be a chef, and it was too expensive. I didn't want to take any loans. I wanted to pay it out myself, but it was just too expensive. So my boss is like, okay, you're not doing anything with your life right now. Let me just put you through barber school. And he he kind of opened up my eyes to like, okay, you're gonna be a chef. Restaurants are busy Fridays and Saturdays. Mm-hmm. You want to hang out with your family, and you're in the kitchen. Like
true, good point.
So I was like, okay, so I started my own little like cake decorating business, did birthday cakes and wedding cakes on the side while going through barber school. And then I started in Great Clips and starting to hear like people getting laid off and not being able to find a job. So I'm like, you know what, I don't want to do this, like working for somebody else. And I worked for another barbershop. It was a great place. But then I'm like, you know what, I'm about to get married. And we got the shop in Roswell a month before I got married. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was like, it's gonna work out. And thank God I have a great supporting wife and helps me move forward. She like believes in me and she trusts me and she supports me. So it's like when it came up to like I had the opportunity, I got a phone call about the Johns Creek location. He's like, hey, I'm old, I'm sick, I need to sell the shop. I asked my wife, I'm like, what do I do? She's like, well, let's do it. We're in this together. And it worked out. It's successful now. And then the Cumming shop, it was literally just a random Sunday. We're up in the Cumming area. We're going to take our kids to Fowler Park. And I'm sitting at the red light and just kind of looking at the shopping plaza. I see the Starbucks, the Firehouse, the Moe's. And in my head, I'm like, man, what a killer spot for a barbershop.
Beautiful spot. 1/10 of a mile from the... Yeah, it's amazing.
Right off the highway, So, and then I look over it again and it says retail space for, available for lease. I'm like, oh my God, if this is not a sign, So
yeah.
I look over to my wife. I'm like, babe, look at that. Like I literally in my head, I was thinking of how cool of a spot for a shop. And we pull in, we look inside, and it's just, all right,
perfect.
Let's do it. So.
Yeah, and Starbucks doesn't put, their locations just
incredible,
anywhere.
incredible location.
I mean, yeah, Firehouse, Starbucks, right off the interstate there. I'm surprised that no one was leasing it. So it's funny to, if you just say, hey, this is, that's it. Like that's,
sure.
That's really cool.
So it's funny that as soon as I signed the lease, all the people came out of the woodworks and they're like, other barbers that I've come across, they're like, oh man, you got that spot? I was actually looking at that spot. Yeah, so I beat them to the punch.
Sure.
But it was a cool.
Well, you got to jump on it right away, right? I mean, you had the opportunity. You didn't, wait 6 months. You have somebody encouraging you, being your wife. That's awesome. It's always good to have somebody, on your side that's either not mentoring you, but just support. It's huge.
Great personality she has.
And I think it's awesome because you took that risk because you didn't, you never know. Johns Creek, maybe it doesn't play out or Cumming, who knows? But taking that risk, I think, is like one of the biggest steps, which most people say is you just got to do it. You got to try it. You're young enough. Like, let's, have faith in ourselves and see what happens.
You have to. Like, don't think about it. Like, do it. And we're at such a prime age, under 40, under 43, let's say. Take risks. You take chances. But, you have, how many kids do you have?
4.
4. And he's taking chances with 4 kids, signing long-term leases. It's risky stuff, But if you're going to take a shot, like your sweet spot, like you have plenty of time. You think you're 25 or you're 30 and it's over. It's not over. Not over. No. 35, not over. 40, not over. 45, not over, but you're getting close. 50, still not over, but, you have plenty of time, right? You look at, people want to see only the end result. But if it's like a 3-year process, I can't do it in 3 years. I remember when I was 21 years old or 15, like time flies like this. You put your mind to it, boom, 3 years is like that, with the right people around you and the right team. So don't ever give up because you think you're working a job you hate and it's too late to do something yourself, Let me ask you this question. You never wanted to work for anybody, right? So you said, it's harder, like you realize you work for your clients all day as we do. Like it's actually harder, like, I don't want to have I remember working for somebody, like, and I, I'm not going to go into details, but I wait till 5 o'clock Friday hits. I'm chilling. It's over. La, la, la. Got the weekend. Go to bed Sunday night. Like, damn, I got to go to work Monday morning, but I know it's going to be over Friday at 5. Working for somebody else I think it's easier. So you're saying you don't want to work for anybody, but you're putting yourself in a position, it's harder. Of course, the rewards are better. It better be better, because if it's harder and it's not better, then you're doing something completely wrong. But, it's absolutely nothing wrong. You can be the best person and work with somebody, for somebody, and you just don't want to deal with all the other headaches. You got the electricity going out, the water going out. You're in there, right? Like 2 a.m, something happens, somebody breaks in, you're in there. Dealing with employees or clients, or the money's off at the end. Like there was something that, whatever, anything. Like it's you. So it's harder, but the rewards are there too. But if you have a good leader, boss, whatever you want to call it, and they care about you guys and they care about your team and they want to see you guys rise up with them, that's what it's about. Because not everybody can handle all that stress on their shoulders. Family, 3 locations, kids. And personally, we're very blessed because we haven't been hit with the hard challenges yet. And I look at families where issues are wrong with the children, or somebody gets sick, right? Like our daily shit that we deal with of, an email went out wrong or this and that, like we got to level up our mindset, because I have 2 boys that are healthy, knock on wood, your family, like we haven't even dealt with hard shit. You know what I mean? Like business, like, and I always get hard on it because, it's stressful and stuff. Thank God I have not have to deal with hard shit, and I hope I don't, hope I keep doing the right thing. But this is a joke compared to what other people are dealing with if they got to wake up and see their kids sick every day, or one child sick, or going through the husband or the wife all of a sudden, something's going on, So there's no reason why we can't step it up every day, do the best we can do, and crush it for our family and our team. Your team relies on you. If you're coming in there not ready to crush it and have a good mindset, it's going to spread right away to them, right? Yep. So you got to come in there ready to attack. Yeah, they have their issues. We have our own issues too, right? But, we see their issues, but they don't see our issues, right? Because nobody tells you did a great job. Maybe your wife here every now and then, but you got to keep telling your team they do a great job. Like, you're a great job. When was the last time one of your employees told you, you've done a great job, Neryk, I'm proud of you? It doesn't happen. Does it?
It's been a minute.
Does it happen? And it's all good, no, nothing wrong with it. So
my pops once in a while.
Your pops, right. Yeah, So we got to just keep doing a great job, but understand like what we're doing here, it's not the easiest thing to run a business. It's not the hardest thing by any means. There's way harder jobs out there. For sure. And, we work for our clients. You work for your clients. You work for your employees. And Gary Vee always says, if you think they work for you, then you're a moron. Because you work for them. You work for all of their issues. You work for your clients' issues. You got all that shit on your shoulders, You got to hold it up and keep growing. Where's the 4th spot going to be? Ooh. Can I get a sneak peek?
I mean, whoever wants to invest.
All right. I like the name,
Yeah, I mean, we try to build a good brand, I'll go back to like high school. A lot of my friends are like, "Hey, man, let's go to college. Let's all go. We'll go in the same classes, this and that." I'm like, I hardly made it to the 12 years.
Sure,
I'm not trying to go back. I'm definitely not a bookworm. You show me something, and I'll do it. Like my dad,
so hands on.
My dad started teaching me when I was 9 years old. He's had a couple of rental houses, and people mess up the house. We go in there. We paint, we fix tile, we change toilets, this and that. So I've always been hands-on. Like, you show me, I'll do it. You show me, I'll do it. So I don't know the statistics, but I'd say maybe half of people are not college people. But they feel like they need to go to college. They need to have a
pressure.
A piece of paper saying like, "Hey, look at me! I got a bachelor's degree." And I've known clients that have bachelor's, masters, can't get a job. Yeah. You need to know a skill. There's people who, whatever, they have a bachelor's degree. They've been in a company for 20 years. They get laid off, and now what are you going to do? You only know that one job.
Sure, it's scary.
Skilled labor, it's
hard to come by.
Very.
So it's nice. So you can have the bachelor degree and maybe learn a skill on the side.
Exactly.
Right.
Don't close yourself in. Don't open more doors. Like whatever's available. And I mean, thank God. Like I don't know if I chose barbering or barber chose me. Maybe it was my destiny. But it's a skill that, I mean, people lose their jobs, they got to go get a haircut. You know, they get a new job, they got to get a haircut.
That's right.
You know,
It's like landscaping. You got to cut the grass.
Exactly.
The grass is going to keep growing.
Exactly. You know, if I was a chef, you know, I mean, like right now with the whole COVID-19 thing going on, a lot of restaurants are closed. I mean, like,
you might have lost your job unless you were a really damn good chef,
Exactly.
and you still might have lost your job.
Yeah,
exactly.
As a lot of people did, unfortunately. You know,
or close the restaurant. Restaurant business is very hard.
Very.
So I'm glad that I became a barber and followed my grandfather's and my dad's footsteps.
Who I guess put the customer service mindset or instilled that in you, you know, because not everybody cares about the Google reviews. Some people are like, people don't look at reviews or this, or they just don't care. But it's important to have the clean shop and the customer service, you know, side of things. I mean, was that something you just said, hey, this is kind of a no-brainer, like we got to treat people right? Or was that, I guess, instilled in you at some point, maybe from your father? You know, I don't know.
No, for sure. It's from my pops.
Yeah.
I mean, the way I hear it every day. That people are like, man, your dad is a special person. Any person comes in, good afternoon, sir. Good morning, sir.
Right.
And as soon as they walk out, no matter what he's doing, he's on the phone. Have a nice day, sir. Like he always makes sure everybody's greeted, everybody's
Acknowledged.
Exactly.
I'll leave the and sorry to cut you off here. I'll leave like the gym or something, or you walk into a place or we pull up to a Dunkin' Donuts drive-through and like no one says anything for 10 minutes. Like at least acknowledge that I'm here. Like I don't know, it just goes a long way.
Yeah,
100%.
For sure. Like,
oh, he always does that. You're
just
right.
being acknowledged and just like the extras. You know, like I've watched my dad. You know, I'm 33 years old. I've watched my dad for 33 years. I mean, just the extra little things like putting on a jacket. You know, in the wintertime, you put the jacket on, and people are like, "Whoa, service with extras, service with
always.
a smile." You know,
how was the family?
Exactly,
yes,
or
know.
just their glasses. You know, you take the glasses, you wipe it. It takes an extra 10, 15 seconds, but it's something extra. You set yourself apart from other people. They're not just coming in there for a haircut. They're coming in there for experience. You know,
Correct.
like so
extra always, and and just because it's extra doesn't mean it's extra money. He's doing it to be extra because that's who he is.
Exactly.
And in life, you know, you pay for something and you get it, and we're so used to, like, in our world where we do every day, insurance company, auto accident, the at-fault party fixed my car. And the client's like, they did their job. You know, it's perfect. That's their job, to fix their car. Did they offer you an extended rental for 2 more weeks after? Or, you know, make sure everything is fine with your car that they fix, and they follow up 2 weeks later to make sure that everything's perfect with the car? They don't do that shit. They fix the car. That's their job. You know, so when you go to a business, you know, getting your service, that's what you pay for. It's awesome. Making clients come back is where you go extra.
Yeah.
And the extra level wins every time.
I agree, 100%. I mean, it's just crazy. Doing your job is not enough. It's almost like, you know, your appointment's at 2:00. You show up at 2:00. Well, that's not enough. You show up 15 minutes early if the appointment's at 2:00. It's the same thing with doing your job. Doing your job is not enough. I mean, it can be in certain circumstances, but then you can't complain about, I'm not getting a raise, I'm not moving, you know, progressing in life. Well, because you're not putting in the extra effort. And even wiping the glasses, making sure that you're clean, or you have, you know, everything you need. It just goes a long way. And then on top of it, you're dealing with good personalities, good people, you know, running a family-owned shop. It's like, you know, that's who you want to support.
Sure. And when you show that, like the team members also, like they started putting jackets on, they start wiping glasses. They like what you portray is what it's
mimicking. It's
exactly,
perfect. They mimic.
Like, you show a bad attitude, it's just going to keep going, you know? So it was funny. My cousins up in New York, they're always like, man, if you open up a shop up here in New York, you'd kill it, because the barbers up here think that they're doing you a favor by cutting your hair.
Yeah.
And I'm
the
like,
New York attitude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think my clients are doing me a favor for coming in. You know, because
you would crush it.
Without them.
There's a lot of choices out there.
Without them,
you don't exist.
Yeah. I don't have food on the table, you know.
Sure.
So that's unfortunately, that's the mentality of the new generation, is like, you know, you don't like it, go somewhere else. There's no, like, my website used to say service like it used to be, service like it should be. You know, back in the day, they gave the service, and then now it's like, who cares? You're like, get
Yeah,
out of here.
it's
Next,
sad.
Exactly.
next.
And everyone watching this, look at what he said. You know, anybody that's working for somebody else during a time like COVID, where there's layoffs and companies have to, not even during COVID, let's say companies have to scale back and there's some issue. Who do you think is going to get laid off and lose their job? The extra people or the ones that go to work and clock in, clock out, and they clock out to the minute? The lunch is taken for that exact hour, and sometimes an hour and 2 minutes, and you have an hour. Who do you think is going to be let go during that time of COVID, non-COVID, layoff, slow business? So ask yourself, you know, when you look at why you get laid off outside of whatever's going on with COVID, you know, were you the best every day or you try to be? And you look around, you'll know if you're the best, because if you got to wonder if you're doing the best job, then you're not the best. I think that. If you're looking around and you think somebody might be better or they're harder working or they care more efforts put in, then you're not the best. So when I'm looking at it, you know, as a business owner, and if there's ever, God forbid, an issue of having to do things, I'm not going to lay off the strongest person. And even if the strongest person makes more money than I want the people around me with the mindset, because it comes to a point as a business owner where it's not only about the bottom dollar and the money, it's about peace of mind. And our job is to give you peace of mind, to make sure your families are good. You come into a great work environment every day and you make money, you have a good job. And your job is not just to do your job, it's also to give your employer peace of mind.
Yeah.
Because that's the transactional trade-off, right?
Take
some
weight
off their shoulders.
Yeah.
And if you could take the more weight off, the more valuable you are and the more you can grow and doors open up, you know, and I'm a big believer of that, promoting within. And also doors that open up outside of your core business, right? You know, you can have an incredible employee, an opportunity comes up outside of your business, and who do you think you're going to want to trust with that maybe tool or task or partner up with? It's going to be that killer employee in your office, maybe, you know, not some stranger that's just going to, you know, give you some money to do something. So you got to surround yourself with people that are going to do a great job. So come into work every day, try to do the best job you can. And it's hard to leave everything at the door when you come in, but you got to try, because you know, you have to. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you.
And I'll say, employers that have employees that take some weight off your shoulders, you have to acknowledge them.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Yes.
I have employees that have been approached by other barbershops, like, hey, I'd love for you to come work, and they're like, no, I'm glad where I'm at, because if you don't give them attention, they're out.
Sure.
And I try to, when we have a good team, and we do have a good team, like I try to acknowledge them, and we go for, like, we've gone to main event, we went bowling, beers, drinks, like
Team building.
yeah, we've gone foot massages,
Nice.
That's
awesome.
You got to take care of your team, because they're taking care of you and your business. And some employers are like, you know what, they're just my
dispensable.
They're
Yeah.
getting paid. That's enough.
my
I don't have to
servants.
do
Yeah,
anything.
exactly.
Yeah.
My gift to them is them keeping their job and getting paid.
That's a
And
sick
no.
mindset.
Yep.
It doesn't work anymore in this day of age, I think.
Nope.
Catches on. People aren't
many
that
options.
stupid. Too many options. Too many good people out there to work for.
Exactly.
So, you got to take care of your team. We're about 34 here. Anything you want to leave us off before
Chat
we
about
finish up?
chat about what you guys are doing.
Tell us.
So in this time, we want to take care of people who take care of us.
Sure.
We got the hero discount, the first responders, the police, the fire, the EMT that haven't skipped a beat. I mean, they're working nonstop. They're not working from home, or
they don't get the choice to work from home.
Exactly, but they still got to look good, and we want to take care of them for the month of August, and 50% off.
Nice.
All 3 of our locations. If you know anybody, a neighbor, a friend, or anybody, send them in. We'd love to take care of them and build a lifelong relationship with them and show them our service. Hopefully they can come back and enjoy our shop.
Sure. That's great. Thank you for doing that, for sure. No, it's been a pleasure knowing you over these years. Appreciate you coming in today, talking about what you do every day,
Thank you,
what
guys.
it takes, the growth, that, you got to work hard in life, backup plans. You got a bachelor degree. That's wonderful. Master's, doctorate, but if something happens, skills don't go anywhere. Plumbing, barber, hair, you're always going to need somebody there. Landscaping, and it's the hard work and the elbow grease and the extra little touch of customer service. and that's what does it, you know. But I appreciate you coming on, Neryk.
Yeah, man. Hopefully next time we have you on, I have to fill up those 3 locations to 6 locations, or who knows, maybe the 3 locations are just exactly what you need. But just, wish you all the best. Obviously, it's great to bring people in that are in the community, have the same mindset, just want to do good work. Like there's a lot of businesses out there that, I don't know, they're not on the same level and just want to do well and crush it for not only their families, but their team, and have everybody just do well. That's what it's all about.
For sure.
You know?
Cool.
So thanks again, Neryk.
Appreciate you, dude.
Thank you,
Cool.
guys.